Have you ever paused for a moment, right before falling asleep, and wondered what actually happens to your consciousness when your eyes close and your thoughts begin to dissolve? Every night, without exception, you undergo one of the strangest transformations a human can experience. You lie down fully aware of who you are, what you feel, and what you think. And within minutes, that sense of identity fades into silence. Your body remains in the same place, but your awareness slips into a world that feels both familiar and unreachable. This daily surrender is so normal that we rarely question it, yet it may be one of the most profound mysteries of human existence. When you fall asleep, you aren't simply switching off like a machine powering down. Something much deeper is happening. Your sense of I, the inner voice, the awareness that watches your thoughts, all begin to detach from the ordinary world. You stop noticing sounds. Your thoughts lose their structure, and your mind slowly drifts into a state where time, memory, and logic no longer behave the way they do when you're awake. But the interesting part is this: you don't remember the moment it happens. You never notice the exact second your consciousness lets go. One moment you're aware, the next moment you're gone. This raises an incredible question. Where does that awareness go? Does it disappear? Does it move somewhere else? Or does it shift into a different form that you simply cannot recall when you wake up? We spend nearly 1/3 of our lives asleep, yet most people have never stopped to question what their consciousness is doing during those long hours. Think about that. 1/3 of your existence happens in a state you do not fully understand and cannot fully remember. It's like living two parallel lives, one in the waking world and one in the invisible inner world that becomes active only when your physical senses shut down. Sleep is also the only time when everything that defines you, your memories, your responsibilities, your identity, your fears, temporarily loses its grip on your mind. In that moment of surrender, you are not your job, your name, your problems, or your ambitions. You enter a state where the usual noise of life simply stops. You experience a kind of darkness that isn't empty but peaceful, like the mind returning to a place it came from long before you were born. It is no wonder that many philosophers throughout history believe that sleep is a doorway to the deeper layers of consciousness, a nightly journey into the parts of yourself you cannot access during the day. So when you ask, where does my consciousness go when I sleep? You are not asking a small question. You are asking one of the oldest, deepest questions humans have ever asked. A question that touches science, spirituality, psychology, and the mystery of what it means to exist at all. From a scientific point of view, your consciousness doesn't vanish when you fall asleep. It transforms. It shifts into different modes, each one revealing something unique about how the mind works. Scientists have been studying sleep for decades, and although they still don't have all the answers, they have uncovered enough to show that sleep is not a shutdown but a complex dance of brain activity. To understand where your consciousness goes, you first need to understand what your brain does the moment you drift off. When you begin to fall asleep, your brain transitions from wakefulness into what scientists call stage 1 sleep. This is a light, fragile state where your awareness still flickers. You may feel your thoughts drifting and reshaping themselves into strange, dreamlike fragments. Your muscles relax, your heartbeat slows, and your external awareness begins to fade. In this early stage, consciousness is not gone. It is slipping, loosening, becoming detached from the outer world. As you move deeper into stage 2 and stage 3 sleep, something even more fascinating happens. Your brain waves become slower and more synchronized. These waves, called delta waves, are associated with deep sleep, the stage where you are least aware of your surroundings. This is the point where your conscious mind essentially disappears from the surface level. If someone tries to wake you, you may feel confused or disoriented because your awareness was resting in its quietest and least active state. But even here, consciousness doesn't fully shut down. Instead, it enters a space where the body focuses on restoration. Your brain begins to repair tissues, regulate hormones, strengthen your immune system, and consolidate memories. It's almost like the conscious mind steps aside and allows the deeper intelligence of your brain to take over. Even though you cannot recall it, your brain is extremely busy. Then comes the stage of sleep that scientists find most intriguing: REM sleep, or rapid eye movement sleep. This is when dreaming occurs. In REM sleep, parts of the brain that were silent during deep sleep suddenly light up again. The emotional centers, the visual centers, and the imagination networks become active, creating vivid dream worlds that feel real while they are happening. Meanwhile, the logical and decision-making areas of the brain go quiet, which is why dreams often defy logic. So, where is your consciousness during REM sleep? It is present but distorted. It shifts into a dream consciousness, a state where you are experiencing a version of reality created entirely by your own brain. In dreams, you can feel emotions, hear sounds, see images, and even experience fear or joy, all without being aware of the physical world around you. This is a different mode of consciousness, one that reveals how flexible and mysterious awareness truly is. Scientists believe that by cycling between deep sleep and REM sleep, your brain balances different aspects of your mind. Deep sleep refreshes the body and clears mental clutter, while REM sleep processes emotions, integrates memories, and shapes your internal world. Your consciousness moves through these stages like a traveler navigating different landscapes of the mind. So, in the scientific view, your consciousness never disappears. It transitions. It shifts from external awareness to internal processing, from silence to dreaming, from logic to imagination. Sleep is not the absence of consciousness. It is evidence of its incredible complexity. While science explains sleep through brainwaves and biological cycles, the spiritual perspective explores something far more intimate: the journey of your inner self. Many ancient traditions teach that when you fall asleep, your consciousness doesn't simply fade into darkness. It withdraws from the physical world and travels inward, toward a subtler and deeper dimension of your being. To them, sleep is not a passive state. It is a return. According to these teachings, your waking consciousness is only the surface layer of who you are. It is the part of you that deals with daily responsibilities, social roles, thoughts, fears, and desires. But beneath this conscious layer lies a vast inner world, your subconscious, your intuition, your emotional memory, your higher awareness. Spiritual traditions suggest that sleep is the time when these deeper layers become active, while the surface mind rests in chich, is view. The moment you fall asleep is the moment your ego, the part of you that says I, that tries to control everything, lets go. This is why you don't remember the moment sleep takes over. The ego cannot be conscious of its own disappearance. It steps aside and the deeper self rises. Some spiritual systems describe sleep as entering different realms of consciousness. In deep sleep, for example, many teachings say that awareness enters a state of pure potential, a silent, thoughtless space where the mind is free from all its usual noise. They say this is the closest most people ever come to experiencing pure consciousness, a peaceful state beyond thought. It is a moment where you are not dreaming, not thinking, not worrying. You simply are. You exist without identity. This explains why deep sleep feels so refreshing. Even though you cannot recall anything from it, the mind touches a state beyond effort, beyond emotion, beyond confusion, a place of original stillness. In spiritual understanding, this is not the absence of consciousness, but the highest form of it, the kind that is beyond perception. It is a reminder that your mind contains depths you do not access during waking life. Dreams, from a spiritual point of view, are also significant. While science sees them as random neural activity, many spiritual traditions see dreams as messages, symbolic expressions, or echoes from the subconscious. Some believe dreams help you process unresolved emotions, while others say dreams can reveal insights that your conscious mind normally blocks. Whether symbolic, emotional, or intuitive, dreams are seen as a space where the deeper self communicates with you in many Eastern philosophies. Sleep is considered a daily demonstration of the soul's independence from the physical body. They argue that if consciousness were only a product of the brain, deep sleep would feel like death. But instead, you wake up restored, as though your awareness has returned from somewhere nourishing. Even mystics and sages throughout history believe that sleep is a sacred act, a natural meditation where the mind returns to its origin. They say that each night, your consciousness temporarily dissolves into a greater field of awareness, the same field where creativity, intuition, and wisdom arise. So in the spiritual perspective, your consciousness doesn't disappear during sleep. It journeys inward. It retreats from the external world and reconnects with the quiet, timeless space within you. Sleep becomes not just rest, but a nightly reunion with the deepest part of yourself. So where does your consciousness truly go when you sleep? After exploring the scientific explanations and the spiritual interpretations, one thing becomes clear: sleep is not a disappearance. It is a transformation, a shift into realms of awareness that most people never consciously explore. Your waking mind may believe it is gone, but something deeper is always active, always journeying, always shifting beneath the surface. When you lay your head down at night, you are doing much more than resting your body. You are stepping into a hidden world where consciousness moves in ways completely different from your daytime experience. It is here, in this mysterious frontier, that your memories are rearranged, your emotions are processed, and your mind returns to balance. It is here that the heavy weight of the day melts away, allowing your awareness to reorganize itself in silence. This is why the world feels different when you open your eyes in the morning. Something inside you has changed. Something inside you has been renewed. Think about it. You spend 1/3 of your entire life in this state. That's decades of drifting into a place without sound or shape, where your sense of self temporarily dissolves. And yet, despite spending so much time in this dimension, you know almost nothing about it. You can describe the roads you travel, the places you visit, and the people you meet, but you cannot describe the inner world where you spend every night. That alone makes sleep one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of human existence. Perhaps the reason this mystery exists is simple. Your consciousness cannot be fully understood by science alone or spirituality alone. It seems to live in both worlds and beyond them. It behaves like something physical, influenced by neurons, chemicals, and brainwaves, but it also behaves like something immaterial, something that retreats, and returns with a clarity that cannot be explained by biology alone. Every time you fall asleep, your consciousness releases the tight grip it holds over the waking world. It lets go of your identity, your opinions, your fears, and your plans for a few hours. You stop being the you that struggles, worries, and overthinks. You become something quieter, something softer, something more essential. In that sense, sleep is not just a biological necessity. It is a spiritual reset, a nightly reminder that your true nature is deeper than your thoughts and bigger than your problems. And maybe that is why waking up feels like returning. Because a part of you really does return. From dreams, from silence, from a state where the boundaries of reality are thin and flexible. Every morning you come back with a mind that is clearer, a heart that is lighter, and a consciousness that is ready to experience the world again. So the next time you close your eyes, remember this: you are not just drifting off, you are entering a profound inner journey. A journey your awareness takes every single night, silently guiding you back to balance, to clarity, and ultimately to yourself.